Hey, Queen. Are you wondering what it means to be a woman in business? Leading a business, hands down, is one of the most challenging journeys for anyone.
Huh?
But I've learned that women have some distinct challenges that they face. And if you're feeling isolated, or if you're feeling like you have certain fears or challenges that you're facing, and you're just looking for camaraderie and empowerment and encouragement, stay until the end of this video where we're going to talk about the realities of what it means to be a woman in business and just give you some tips along the way. First and foremost, let's talk about why most women decide to lead a business. It's interesting because I lead a global movement where I've trained thousands of women around the globe. Every other week, I interview 2 women entrepreneurs on what I call the BMM Spotlight. And I pose this question to the women every single time. And I say, what was it that you were missing from your life or felt like you were lacking that you pursued entrepreneurship to fill? And every single time, I get a version of one of 2 things, which is either freedom or self-actualization. Here's what freedom sounds like. So freedom is when a woman is like, I wanted to live an unorthodox lifestyle. I wanted to be able to travel. I wanted to be able to work certain amount of days or certain amount of hours. I wanted to make sure that I could juggle my responsibilities or be a caretaker or be present for those I love. And the freedom I was looking for, this flexibility I was looking for, I was not able to achieve through a job. And so my desire was to build a business that would afford me that type of freedom. Is that you? I'm wondering. I know that's definitely me. I am a mom of 3 and I'm a wife. And my youngest daughter's name is Legacy. And so when I was pregnant with Legacy, I knew that I was in a season of my life where it was not just about what I was doing for myself, but it was about what I was doing that would leave something behind for someone else. And when I was thinking about the type of mom that I wanted to be, the type of wife that I wanted to be, the type of mentor that I wanted to be, when I thought about when my life is over, what will I have left that will empower others? I knew that I just really didn't have that freedom through a job. And I knew that I needed a business to be my legacy, to create the freedom for me to be present in the way that I want it to be and to self-actualize, which takes us to the second answer that I get very commonly. Self-actualize shows up in many different answers, but self-actualize is really this idea that I wanted to create a business so that I could see what I was made of, so that I could do the things that I thought I was capable of when maybe someone else had a ceiling on the work that I could do, or when I felt like my environment wasn't bringing out the best of me. I know for myself, similarly, I felt like I had I had so many corporate achievements, right? Like I had so many achievements. It's just my personality type. I am a high D. I'm a doer. I'm like, what is the record? I'm going to break it, right? Like that's my personality type. But yet and still, I felt like there was more in me that I could see coming out of me, and I just needed to create my own pathway to get there. And oftentimes when I interview women in business, I hear things like, I was being passed over for promotions, or I had ideas, but when I would present those ideas, they weren't being taken advantage of, or they weren't being actualized. Or, I had this idea over here and I wanted to take a risk or a gamble on myself. Is that you? Is this resonating with you? So when we look at what it means to be a woman in business, I think for most of us, one is we're looking for some level of freedom. 2, we're looking for self-actualization. We're not competing against anyone else. We're really competing with the woman in the mirror. And we're looking to evolve into, the best of her and what she has to deliver to the marketplace. As a woman in business, the world is quickly changing. For many of us as women in business, it means forging a path that we don't always see an example of. It means stepping out and taking seats at tables where historically we've not been before. So oftentimes being a woman in business means facing a lot of adversity and being a trailblazer and believing in yourself and finding camaraderie. When we look at the studies facing women in business, The great news is that we are the fastest growing demographic of entrepreneurs. Women are starting businesses at record-breaking speeds. A part of this is due to the Great Resignation and women looking for freedom and women looking for self-actualization. But also a part of this is, I believe, in the digital age, is we are redefining what the workforce looks like. I think the future of work has a lot to do with flexibility and remote work. And so that's a big part of what being a woman in business means. Now, I would be, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't talk about sales in this video, because I am a sales strategist and I'm an advocate for women collecting all of the coins in business. And so when we look at what it means to be a woman in business statistically from a revenue standpoint, this is where, we don't have the best news. Women-owned businesses average 67% less revenue than their male-owned counterparts. If we were to quantify that difference, it's about $367,000 less per year than male-owned firms. And then if we go deeper into that, we find Latina-owned firms average about $51,000 per year, and Black women-owned firms average about $24,000 per year. I call that struggle money. Like, if you went into entrepreneurship for freedom and self-actualization, I don't care how much freedom you get, which you don't get a lot of freedom with $20,000 a year, let me tell you. And if you're looking for self-actualization, it doesn't feel good to say, oh, I'm doing this work I love, but I can barely pay my bills. So I think that's a reality of being a woman in business that we really need to turn around. And that's one of the things that I am just such an advocate for. And also when we look at being a woman in business, only 12% of women-owned firms achieve 6 figures or more, and only 4% achieve 7 figures or more. So I think we as women in business have a responsibility to not only create businesses, but to create profitable businesses and to create inclusive cultures in our businesses so that we are changing those statistics for the better. Where do you fall? Do you fall in the 12%, the 4%? Are you just starting your business? What does it mean to you to be a woman in business? I definitely resonate with the definition of, for me, being a woman in business means that I'm a trailblazer, and it means I'm a legacy creator, and it's about creating something that's bigger than me. All right, this is LizJSimpson, founder of the Big Money Movement, where we're all about creating big money moves. If you're looking for strategies to land 5- and 6-figure corporate clients, you can sign up for our advanced masterclass at thebigmoneymovement.com. If you're looking for scripts or language to engage executive buyers, you can go to corporateclientscripts.com to download 3 of our proven scripts. And if you're looking for empowerment, if you know being a woman in business means that you have a responsibility to not only turn a profit, but to create opportunities for others, stick with me. I've got tons of tips and strategies to share with you. One of those tips is how to get corporate clients for your business. Cliff notes, you can increase your business by 267% just by landing 1 corporate client. Click the link. I'll see you then. Bye. See that video? That's the game changer right there. Click that video so you can land corporate clients.